We believe that knowledge must be shared and connected. This is why we created Uniminds, the biggest Slovenian online festival created to connect academia and industry. Here, you can find partners and ideas for your challenges and see how the industry and academia can join forces to build a smarter, healthier, and sustainable future. The first editions of the Uniminds showed us the values we need to follow in order to be successful.
Focus is important, especially for a small country like Slovenia is, and to have this shared vision where we want to play and where we want to be really the best.
Failure is not necessarily a sign of weakness. It's an opportunity to learn, to go on, and then try again and be successful.
Openness really helps, and people who are more open, they sort of succeed.
It is essential if we as professors want our research to have impact, if we want to work on relevant projects.
So do not miss the third edition of Uniminds. The festival will take place online from the 8th to the 10th of November, featuring an interdisciplinary program with best innovation practices of Slovenian EIT hubs, insight into world innovation trends, and Slovenian frontrunners. For additional information and past events, visit the festival website. We look forward to innovate together.
Hello.
Aleš, we can hear you, so we can start.
So I would like to first, of course, invite all the participants to switch on the camera. Anja, Karlis, Katarina, Boris, Boštjan. Yeah, excellent. It was really an interesting talk, both by York and then later also with Mr. David from Perutnina Ptuj. So I'm sure we will continue it with mind-blowing discussion and presentation of the work you are doing. So probably the best would be just to start, and then maybe with the presentation start, we can also introduce each of the participants. How do you agree with my proposal? So who will first start the sharing of the PowerPoint? Okay, so Anya, it's first. I hope all the participants are able to see the presentation, and just a short intro to Anya, and then maybe she will also continue with her personal presentation. Anya is a PhD student at the Biotechnical Faculty and currently working at the Faculty of Medicine and clinics for neurology. And why she is a part of this presentation is a very simple matter. She was a very active student already during her bachelor and master years at the Faculty of Biotechnical Faculty, and then she joined the EIT team, EIT Food team, as a collaborator, and then her love to the topic where she will present the lecture today erupted. So she started to work on the PhD topic as a result, probably quite important result of collaboration with the EIT, and on particular topics she will present. So Anya, the floor is yours, and thank you very much for your presentation. I will switch on off my camera and the mic, and will follow your lecture. Welcome, Anya.
Thank you, Aleš, for this intro, and hello to everyone. I am very happy to be here and to tell you my path from involved in EIT to becoming a PhD student. I think I'm very lucky to get the opportunities that I have guided me to where I am now. So my name is Anja Marhar. I have a master's degree from nutrition, and I'm currently a second-year PhD student in bioscience. specializing in nutrition for elderly, for older adults. Currently, I am employed at the Biotechnical Faculty, University of Ljubljana, and also at the University Medical Center Ljubljana in Department of Neurology. I'm assisting here with execution of different projects with both employers alongside the implementation of my PhD. So where did it all start? In this short presentation, I will show you where I have started and how I came up to the topic of my PhD thesis. At the beginning, I was planning to get only my master degree and then finish with my study and get a job. So I did not plan to go further with my PhD study. At least this was not my original plan. But it all turned around during my additional year of my master studies. So after I completed all my exams, I took additional year to write my master thesis and to get some experiences during my students' work. At that time, I was lucky to get the opportunity to assist in the implementation of the EIT project, and this is EIT Consumer Engagement Lab. That was held at that time at Biotechnical Faculty. What is a Consumer Engagement Lab? It is actually a project that explore eating habits, shopping habits, food preferences, mindset related to food and nutrition with a group of different consumers. These informations are gained through a number of interacting and engaging tasks that are held during the workshops that are pre-designed by the project leader. At the end of the project, participants or consumers also designed an innovative plant-based product. The type of consumers we work with that time, so in 2021, was actually older adults, elderly, people aged over 65. And to make it even more interesting, we work strictly online due to COVID-19. So if you're asking yourself and wondering how it went, so with the older generations and online meetings, it was surprisingly well. Our participants got very used to using Zoom and meeting online. At the end, they were even sad that our meetings are over. They have got used to our morning chats and coffees and so on. So for me, it was very interesting working with this population. I was particularly attracted by the insight into their thinking about nutrition. What is healthy diet for them? What are their habits? What is innovation even means for them in nutrition? My interest in this field of study kind of erased here. I was also fascinated to realize how different elderly are to each other. For example, for some of them, it was innovative to use, for example, spelt flour instead of white flour to make just a basic pie because they have never used it before. While others were quite innovative in their kitchens and like to experiment with their recipes. After this project and after final presentation of my master thesis, the project leader, Professor Aleš Kuhar, actually gave me the initiative to apply for PhD. His initiative seemed out of this world for me at the time, because as I said, I never planned to do a PhD at first. However, after second thought, I realized that my curiosity and research did not end with my master, but actually escalated with this project, Consumer Engagement Lab. Once my additional year as a master student was over, I started my PhD and took up a job at the Biotechnical Faculty as a project assistant at the EIT Food Hub office, as Aleš already said, and some other projects. One of these projects at the EIT office was also Challenge Lab 2022. The Challenge Lab is also called three meetings event designed to encourage students from different fields of study to think outside of the box and to be more innovative. In general, the EIT Food Hub office defines the event around one key challenge, which the participating students first learn about with the help of the experts, and then explore further about this challenge by themselves. The key challenge of the Challenge Lab 2022 was to solve the challenge of nutritional care for the older people. The event provided us with important insight into the reality of nutritional care for older adults. As mentioned, the event consists of 3 meetings. These meetings were 2 weeks apart. At first and the second meeting, we were joined by different experts from this field. So, for example, representative of care institutions, home for the elderly, companies that already have first insight or ideas to tackle this challenge of nutritional care, and also we invited different researchers that already are working with older adults to represent us their work. Between meetings and before the last meeting, students deepened their research directly in the field. This means that they have done some interviews, some observations, questionnaires, surveys with the target group, so with the elderly. And they came up to this. So at the last meeting, they presented us their work, what they have learned, and came up to this one specific problem, and what is their innovative solution to one specific problem or challenge in this key nutrition of elderly. They presented their ideas in front of the jury, and the jury decided who is the winning team. We confirmed a number of previous findings that nutrition care and awareness raising with validated information is urgently needed. This is very complex, systematic challenge, and this is a specific group of people who are coping with different conditions and diseases. And also with that, we confirmed that one answer or solution does not fit all. So to conclude, EIT is the guilty one for me to still be a student, and also Professor Aleš. I'm currently working on the main disposition of my PhD research. We will focus on behavior of older adults, assessing their nutritional knowledge, both objective and subjective. We will implement an intervention in the form of interactive education on healthy nutrition and evaluate the effectiveness of the intervention. In particular, we will be interested in the critical points that limit older population in implementing healthy eating habits. We know that we have a difficult job ahead of us. as we dig deeper in this population, we often come across the term habit is a steel shirt. However, we are aware that our final findings will contribute to better interventions for the implementation of preventative measures to reduce the risk of progression of non-communicable disease. In particular, due to health differences, we will focus on parallels between dietary habits, knowledge, and cognitive decline and dementia. In fact, in 2019, the World Health Organization has issued some specific guidelines to limit the risk of cognitive decline and dementia, and it has identified the integration of healthy, balanced diet as one of the most important actions. So this is why we strongly believe that our research and work will really be meaningful. So I'm thanking you for your attention. For any question, I'm further to be happy to be at your disposal. So wish you a great day.
Thank you very much, Anya. Thank you for your excellent presentation. Just a small addition to your expression of interest and how this topic is important is also University of Ljubljana setting up the research center on elderly. So it's one of the 5 research units that university is currently heading. So elderly is also becoming, or it will be concentrated under the certain activities of the university, and to bring together different aspects of elderly or gray economy. Okay, thank you very much. Let's start with no further ado. I'm inviting Carlis and Katarina to present Elogium, also a company which is related to EIT Food, not Hub, but initiative. And thank you, Katarina and Carlis, to join us. And we are looking forward to see your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Alesh. So I'm Katarina. I'm a microbiologist, a researcher at the Biotechnical Faculty of the University of Ljubljana, and also a co-founder of Elogium, a startup company based on the research that was done at the university. So our journey started with fundamental laboratory research. We were interested in bacterial interactions of beneficial and pathogenic and so harmful bacteria, and also the mechanisms involved into these interactions. So our aim was to study microbial interactions for the improvement of food safety. Sounds abstract, but a very, very important field of study in microbiology. So from a lot of lab work here, you see we have some articles published on all of these interactions and the importance of them. We somehow found something that might have been interesting also for well, the wider public, not only microbiologists. So one of our beneficial bacteria, the good guys, was acting really, really good at killing the harmful foodborne pathogenic bacteria. So these results led us to go from this basic benchtop laboratory research into animal trials, and to find that we might have a solution actually to a very big problem, and maybe even a new probiotic. So everybody knows, I know, you know, that infections with foodborne pathogens are a really tedious thing, and probably everyone here knows that getting, for instance, salmonella would not be pleasant for anybody. But the bigger problem here is Campylobacter. This is the number one reason for foodborne disease. In other words, diarrhea. So something very, very uncomfortable, and it's worldwide. So you can find it everywhere, and you can get it from eating chicken. And most of the chicken has some of Campylobacter. So by researching bacterial interactions, we found that a strain of Bacillus subtilis, so the good guy, we found one strain that was really good at killing these harmful bugs, so Campylobacter and also others, as Salmonella, Listeria, and all the big bugs. And you actually want to get rid of all of these harmful bacteria from your chicken, not only for cooking, but also before that, so that nobody gets infected with that. So we saw a problem, a really huge problem, and finally a solution that we had. So we wanted to make a new bacillus-based probiotic for chickens to make them, and well, in the end goal was also making us healthy. So both animals and humans eating these animals being healthy because of these probiotics. So a few words only on our results. So we found in not only in lab work, we found in animal trials that we can reduce these harmful pathogens, the bad bugs, from the chickens. And a very interesting side effect for us is, well, at the beginning, we didn't study the effect on the animals per se, so not on the weight gain, but we studied the microbiology. Well, we are microbiologists, but we checked also for the weight gain. And it was amazing, actually, because all the groups that got our new probiotic were actually bigger than the groups that didn't get this probiotic. So for us, it seemed like a lucky coincidence, but something really good that we found out we could sell. So we saw a really big potential in this probiotic, in this, well, new potential probiotic, and we wanted it to get into the world and to commercialize it. So not only for it to stay in the lab, but actually being used for something. This is why we, 5 scientists from the University of Ljubljana, well, professors and doctors of microbiology, together with Carles, an entrepreneur, founded Elogium. And Carles is the one that is going to tell you a little bit about this company.
So hi, I'm the Carles Katarina was talking about. So our common story started 1.5 years ago online in the midst of the pandemic. Somewhat accidentally, I had joined up a team-up event organized by Commercialization Reactor. It is a Latvian startup accelerator that scouts universities for technologies and presents them to a group of entrepreneurs willing to establish a deep tech startup. Out of the 13 technologies presented that day, I was sure that I wanted to work with Katarina and the rest of the team. We had to have a match though, and just like on Tinder, so there was two-way love present right from the beginning. Katarina earlier told you about the Campylobacter being a problem for poultry farmers. So what are they doing to tackle it, and why is our product needed in the market? Currently, 2 solutions exist for Campylobacter control in poultry. Firstly, biosecurity at farms, which means not letting a single fly into a farmhouse. Yeah, good luck with that. Secondly, washing and freezing the chicken after slaughter, which is not always effective. Thankfully, political will for Campylobacter elimination in poultry sector is strong in the European Union. The currently acceptable level will be decreased by 30% from year 2025. Chicken broiler producers are aware that even a combination of the existing safeguarding practices does not allow them to reach the new threshold. And that is why a probiotic solution is highly awaited for in the market. As we messed up with the slides a little bit, you will have to listen very carefully on what I say now, and not to get confused with what you see on the screen. Our product, we call it Elogium Plus, is a probiotic poultry feed additive that eliminates Campylobacter directly inside the chicken gut system, therefore completely eliminating the risks of contamination of people. Additionally, as any other good probiotic product currently on the market, it improves the feed conversion of broilers by allowing to produce the same amount of meat by using less feed, which leads to cost savings and increase in profitability, as 70% of the costs in broiler farming are related to feed consumption. Reduced feed consumption, improved profitability. Reduced feed consumption, improved sustainability. Yes, you heard it right. Increasing profits and improving sustainability all at the same time. I think I have to talk a little bit about our business model as well here. Our main customers are large industrial chicken broiler producers, as the broiler production market is highly concentrated and consists predominantly of very large players. To save the pain of large capital expenditure and use our resources and expertise more wisely, we plan to use a well-established industrial partner for production, branding, marketing, distribution, and sales of our product. So our technology, our knowledge, our innovation. Corporate manufacturing, corporate distribution, and corporate credibility. That is the winning formula. The poultry probiotics market size globally is 4 billion euros, and it is growing at a pace of 8% annually. So the future of broiler industry is built on the probiotics. We established Elogium 1 year ago, and during this 1 year, we have validated our customers through around 100 meaningful conversations with clients and partners. We finished the Commercialization Reactor Acceleration Program and are soon finishing the EIT Food Seedbed Incubator. I think EIT has earned a couple of good words from me here. The EIT food ecosystem has been very valuable during our early journey. It provides fantastic mentors, insightful workshops, and really pushes you to understand the importance of and perform the market and customer discovery. We call the Seedbed Incubator the EIT Kindergarten, as it is meant for the very early stage startups. Next year, we hope to get accepted in the more advanced EIT fan, and I already cannot wait on what that will offer. We are already in the talks with EIT Venture Fund on a possible investment in Elogium next year. Regarding investment, so far we have received a 50,000 euro pre-seed investment from Commercialization Reactor, and we are in talks with 2 multi-billion corporates for co-developing our product. Yes, our bacteria is so unique that even large and well-established companies with tens of thousands of strains in their collections do not have one which is effective against Campylobacter. So what's next? Early next year, we will elevate our TRL to 5 by performing preclinical research in lab chickens. A larger scale clinical research together with development of an efficient commercial scale production technology will raise our TRL to 7 at the end of next year. All of the before will allow us to apply for feed-additive certification in the EU. And with our product officially registered by institutions, we plan to make our first sales in the first half of 2024. Thank you. In case if you work in the poultry industry, I would be more than happy to tell you more on how we can make your business less stressful, more profitable, and sustainable. And a PS, startups always need money. So in case you're interested, drop me a line and I will tell you about our next financing round. That's all.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Carlis and Katerina. So it was our schedule. So I'm kindly inviting colleague Boris Kovac to start with the next session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aleš, for introduction. Thank you for invitation to this meeting. Hello to everyone. I'm from the Dietetic Department of Faculty of Health Sciences. I would like to present our possibilities in food creating. Functional foods are one of our research topics. Our mission and also first step in many of our projects is to find the relationship between a bioactive component and the health. How do we start with the test? Usually, we start with a test on cell lines in vitro. But finally, the screening of biomarkers in vivo should be done. So we proceed with human clinical tests. We call them nutritional intervention. After we confirm the effect of an active component, then we plan further steps. Usually we decide to start with creation of a functional food or food supplement. If there is no interest, then we start with publication and make our data available to the public. Clinical study protocol starts with preparation of clinical study design. First important part is determination of restrictions for participants. Studies in vivo, where we take or analyze samples of physiological liquids like blood, should be first approved by National Ethics Committee. So that's our second step. After we gain the approval of Ethics Committee, we start with the study. The next step is searching for participants. Participants are, according to ethical rules, always volunteers, and they could not get any financial benefit. When we have enough participants, it's not easy when we have a lot of restrictions. When we have enough participants without restrictions, we start with initial meeting. When we learn participants about details of the study, risks, data protection, ethical rules, and so on. Finally, we start with the intervention, and in the end, the results should be evaluated. In last 4 years, we investigated the effect of active components from peppers, royal jelly, buckwheat, and kefir. In progress, we have 2 studies. First study is with edible mushroom. In Slovenian language is Rhesasti bradavec, Latinian name is Hericium. And second is a Mediterranean plant called Laški smil. The Latinian name is Helichrysum. In both, we work with the extract. How does the design of one clinical study look like? In the screen, we can see the design and also some results of the study. It's the study of royal jelly, where our goal was to find effect on nutritional supplementation on metabolic syndrome factors. The participants were usually divided in 2 groups. First group is the group which is active component. It was royal jelly, and the second group is usually placebo group. How long are the studies? This study took a time of 10 weeks. Participants were examined in the start and after 4 and 8 weeks. 8 weeks was also at 8 weeks also finished the second phase of consumption. Participants were followed 2 weeks more, and final results were indicated also after 10 weeks of consumption. The results are indicated in blocks. So in this case, we got a lot of positive effects on blood lipid profile, on antioxidant potential, on anthropometric parameters, on serum glucose levels, fitness, inflammation, and so on. The second field, the last field of our work, is innovative foods development. Our goal is to reach prototype stage. Here I have our last 3 projects. First project was breads with non-glycemic index. So glycemic index was clinically determined. Products are ideal for balanced diet or for healthy population as well as for diabetics. The second project was buckwheat ice cream. It was created as a source of calcium. It was supplemented by calcium, which was in origin it was micronized eggshells. Innovative part of this product was also packaging. The packaging prevents changes during transport. The third group of products which I would like to show is probiotic enriched ice cream. Our goal was not to follow the effect of probiotics in our lumen, but our goal was to indicate the effect of probiotics on oral microflora. This product was also clinically tested. We have many ideas, and we are sure that you have more ideas than we have. And also we are sure that together we could find excellent solutions, and we could upgrade our ideas. So we are looking forward to further cooperation. Thank you.
By the way, you are also collaborating for a long time with one of the largest bakeries in Slovenia. That's where your spirit and energy to collaborate with the industry is coming from. Thank you, Boris. And I will really start with the presentation of Boštjan. Thank you, Boštjan, also for your acceptance to collaborate. Boštjan is coming from one of the largest regional vertically organized company. It's agri-food, I could say, pillar of Slovenian and also broader economy. So welcome, and I'm really looking forward to hear the story of Panvita and of Boštjan. Thank you.
So thank you for your word. First, I would like to say, I'm Boštjan Steinberger, project lead at Panvita. And currently I'm involved in development of the fruit and vegetable production with hydroponic greenhouses. Today I will say a few words about the sustainability, integration and linking of agricultural activities with scientific research institutions. Let's start from the beginning. First, I would like to introduce you into our business model. I hope you already see on the screen our group of companies which are under Panvita. So we have basically primary sector covered with the agriculture, where we produce grains, also together with the more than 2,000 family farms in the region. From those grains, we produce fodder for the feed for the animals, and then under our group is also animal breeding and veterinary service, and on the end you can see the slaughterhouse. Above all is actually also ecology and energetics, in which we produce biogas and basically electricity. Otherwise, Panvita is, as also Aleš said, one of the biggest agri-food companies in Slovenia. It's the biggest which has a vertical chain of production that assures us to control complete production from the field to the spoon, actually. There are many key advantages of our business model, such as short logistics, traceability, especially controlling of steps in primary and secondary production, which assure us proper quality for our customers, of course. As mentioned, Panvita, together with cooperants, we grow cereals, which is used for fodder exclusively in Slovenia. Product is later on used for feeding animals on our own farms, which are under surveillance of our veterinary service, which I mentioned before. And animals are used on the end for the secondary production of our products which are on the final market, so for the end customers. All waste from all of those companies is used to produce electricity in our company Panvita Ecotech, which is seen on the scheme. On the second slide, you can see our figures or future focus on Panvita. There is also some data represented to get the feeling about our company. So definitely first pillar will be farming and agriculture, which we want to develop and with improving approach to achieve appropriate results, of course. Modern technology with the combination with knowledge and is definitely basic to develop this part. Then we have second pillar, which I will mention, is energetics. As mentioned, this is really good for our production on all stages, to use the waste products to produce energy, which is nowadays really important. Then third pillar will be vegetable production, modern vegetable production, to which I'm also quite involved. We are investing in hydroponic production, and this production is also kind of opportunity for students and for the researchers to use the data that could be that could be really important for the production, to improve the production in this kind of production. Then fourth pillar will be meat production process, which has actually a huge business volume for us and for our company. Also on this pillar, improvements, new approaches, new technologies are really needed, especially to achieve our goals, which is striving to lowering CO2 emissions and general to reduce environmental impact of the food production, which I believe will be really focus of our company also in the future. Then of course, I will also say a few words about our cooperation on the research projects. We were cooperating on AEP project. One of the important ones for us was definitely SPON, which was meant to be to develop precise irrigation with scientific approach and to increase yield, as seen. There was developed a tool which is useful also for the other farmers and other growers around. Then another project will be RRE. We did this AB-free elimination of antibiotics from our food chain. This was really important for us. And the fourth one that I will mention today, Deep Dive Pomurje, where we cooperate also under EIT Food to introduce students into our production process. And we always like to cooperate on this field, so we can definitely be sure that this will happen also in the future. Then I will say that definitely on this field there are enormous needs on the field of agricultural production to cooperate with different research institutions. Daily challenges are basically connected to maximize the yield with less possible resources and minimal impact on the environment, of course. For example, modern technology enables scanning processes with the harvesters to collect a proper amount of data, which are later on or also in the next season used for the precise and efficient irrigation or precise and efficient fertilization of the fields when needed, of course. Innovative using of irrigation technology is very important for us. From the aspect of decreasing water, of course, and consumption of water is definitely, and the resources is definitely important in nowadays food production. As mentioned, our company is already having 800 hectares of land covered with irrigation system, which drastically improves yield as dry summer time appears more and more often in last years. The combination of smart using of water, plant protection substances, and fertilizers are key to success for us. However, there is still a long way to walk, and connections with university on common project is definitely key to success. And I see many opportunities where mutual benefits are clear. Another huge field that I would like to say a few words about, and it's also seen on the photo, is development of the soils production in Slovenia. I had the opportunity to cooperate with some growers in Belgium and Netherlands, where soilless vegetable production is very well developed, but growing of food in a completely controlled environment have a great potential for the future. As we know, the population on the planet is growing and classic production is using too much of resources. Combination of technology and science can be recipe for yields that cannot be imaginable on the standard soil growing, for example. They're just much bigger. However, the kind of production also requires a certain amount of the data collection, research activities, and so on. And this is also the thing where the fact that we can collaborate with the educational institutions, of course. Because of the specific of each location, copying of the greenhouses from one country to another is not a solution. Depending on the culture which we want to grow, microclimate conditions are having a huge impact. For example, we don't have to invest in 100% artificial lights inside of the greenhouses. For example, if we are more south in the southern Europe. If we are more in the southern Europe, definitely the screening will be better solutions. But where is the limit between those two is always a decision that has to be done not just by economy, but also by research activities. As everywhere else, also at Panvita, we are facing with huge production costs, which we could minimize by investing into research activities. I believe farmers and growers and agricultural companies should do more and more common projects with universities, or rather to say academic institutions in the future. The field of primary and this basic production of food is full of opportunity for development, but looks like sometimes that there's not so much of interest of the students into it. If we see climate changes and growing Earth's population in this equation, we know we all have to do more, and this is also what we are trying to do at Panvita by our best abilities. We are cooperating, and we will cooperate also in the future. For the end, I would also like to say one more sentence which I really like, and this would be: striving to produce healthy food can have some limits when we achieve the goal, but striving to produce food in a sustainable way will never have limits. So thank you for the word.
Yeah, bravo, thank you, Boštjan. Very deep thoughts and discussion. I'm happy to have all of you now in the podium, and I'm inviting our guests or our listeners to join and post some questions. Hopefully, if not, I will start the discussion under the umbrella of our group. Maybe Karlis, while our audience will become a little bit more brave, I'll pose a question to you. You already mentioned a little bit how you met the Slovenian researchers, but maybe a word or two more, how the world of startup entrepreneurship today looks like. So this international collaboration point of your story.
Yeah, so the international has some benefits and has some drawbacks. So I think less than a year ago, we applied for one different startup accelerator program, and then we had to talk about our team, and they were asking questions like, "Have you met?" I'm like, "Yeah, on Zoom." Well, have you met in real life? I'm like, "No, never." So they didn't accept us because they said, no, this is like not serious. You have not met in real life. So so then we cured it this summer. I did meet Katerina in Paris and Polonza in Spain, and so we still had a click in the real life. So that's all fine. So we have sorted this out.
Perfect. Yeah. What's your background? Are you an economist, or just a short intro to your background?
Yes. Well, regarding the education, I did study Bachelor of Economics in the Netherlands, and then I did a Master of Laws in Latvia. And before I worked in renewable energy sector, and then also I was a real estate developer myself for 3 years before starting this startup.
Perfect. It's just the last question for you. How do you see agriculture in future? I see you're professional very much already in discussing the topics related to food and agriculture. How do you see agriculture as a non-agricultural person, non-food system person?
So I see it that I love food. Like I like eating different kinds of things. And I've been listening all around that we will have too little food for the population of 2050. And so we should come up with new ways on how to produce it, or new types of foods, or more effectively the existing foods like our product. And I'm totally for it. Like, I'm not the person, let's say for example, I eat meat myself, but I'm not against all the meat alternatives as long as they're good enough. So I'm really happy that people work on this, try to make them better, and maybe I will also buy them one day. So.
Perfect. Thank you, Carlis. Katerina, you are really kind of outstanding example of our perfect faculty, biotechnical faculty. Maybe just a short, today with Jörg, we started with personal stories, but that's why I'm asking only personal stories now. Maybe your personal story, how as a researcher, high-level researcher, you are basically got your idea to start to work with the startups to work in economical, let's say, business career. How do you relate your scientific work and professional development in terms of entrepreneurship?
Okay, so this is a very wide question. I also started with my PhD in very much deep microbiology. I wasn't really interested in any economics or anything like this, not even in agri-food sector that much. But not at the beginning, like in my master's, I wasn't, but I started my PhD in agri-food microbiology, and I started to learn a lot about food safety, about how big of a problem this is going to be also in the developing world, also in the industrialized world. So it was a new topic for me. And at one point during my PhD also, I think the urge or the need for me to show that my work has real life application, it started growing.
Bravo.
And I really got it.
Bravo.
Bravo. Yeah, very much deep microbiology, very also molecular. So the idea of translating your research into the real world doesn't really come up during your bachelor's, and even not your master's during microbiology. This is like for biotechnologists, agronomists. So it was new. And actually the University of Ljubljana, when we applied for a patent, the Office for Knowledge Transfer, they started collaborating with us a lot and talking a lot about commercialization. And I started to do these elevator pitches, stuff that was so completely new and so stressful for me. Like in 3 minutes, get them to give you money. It's like, how will this happen? So it started happening. It was amazing because it was so much stress, but so gratifying experiences, and it was so fun. And this is how we also got to the commercialization reactor, where we got a little bit of the training and how to present to entrepreneurs. And well, this is how it started. I actually didn't have like high hopes for it. I said, okay, we will just try it. We don't have experience, so what bad can happen? Nothing.
Yeah.
We're there, we will try it. And actually a lot of good things happened since then. So it was a very long, to me, it seems like a long journey because there was a lot of high ups in that. So a lot of high up events makes you think it has been happening for 10 years. But it hasn't. I mean, the research developing has been happening for 10 years, but the main company stuff, it's a short period, but for me, so many things have happened. So very, very different.
Katarina, may I conclude that you are very passionate speaking also about the business now, not only about the microbiology. May I conclude this?
Yes, very much so, yeah.
Fantastic. I see very, very good combo here with high-level scientists, also other professors, which were your mentors, I believe. It's really a good example. And maybe a last thought from you to stimulate high-level scientists in natural sciences to think about the business. How would you stimulate our beloved colleagues in biotech or elsewhere to go a little bit deeper also and allow business mentality to enter your high-level scientific research?
I think that anybody that has a little need tinkering inside of them, that they want to get their research wider, to communicate it, and at this point, it's not about money. Maybe in 5 years, it will be about a lot of money, so there is a lot to gain and time maybe to lose, but still, if you do have the passion for it and if you have this will for it, this is a very, I don't know if I would say like good opportunity. It's not like you're going to sell something for a few millions in a few months. But it's a fun thing. It's a fun and different thing to do. And if you have a team of people, like 2 or 3 people are a team of people that can collaborate on this, that can think about ideas, and somebody that is a little bit more flexible maybe inside of this team, then you have a good one. If you're, I don't know, for us, for our team, we have, let's say my boss is a full professor at the Biotechnical Faculty. She's the dean of microbiology, and she doesn't actually have time to present to all of these companies. But I do. I'm more flexible. I'm a researcher, so my lab stuff can also happen in the afternoon if I have meetings in the morning. So flexibility is needed here, but I think anybody that actually wants to do it can do it.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. Yeah, making an impact also for a researcher, not only with high impact factor, but also factor of impact on society or even business economics. It's an important driver for our activities, and should be even more so in our research work. Thank you, Katarina. I will jump now to Anya. Anya is also a person who is striving now for impact in society. She's, of course, a fresher, so to speak. She's very early in her PhD career, but still very much passionate. Passion is something that we heard today quite a few times, and devotion. So how would you describe, Anya, how do you see the solutions that are needed to support better living for elderly people? Where do you see in the nutritional point in this respect? So how do you see, and how do you expect your research will support better living for all of us, which will hopefully become healthy adults and healthy elderly people?
First of all, I think we should understand elderly, how they live, how they make choices. And this is, I think this is the first step to know what changes are needed and how they should be implemented. So the first step also with my PhD. And the goal is to understand how they are thinking, what they are doing, why they are choosing one food and not another, why they know they have nutritional knowledge, but why they are not implementing this knowledge into the practice. I think here the key is to understand.
Excellent. Yeah, because usually, you know, also from my perspective, of course, research is very much focused on young people. Young were always, let's say, or, you know, young adults, they were always the focus of, let's say, consumer research. And now your work is very innovative, except especially in the objective to work with the elderly people. You know, it's really also my personal observation was that, you know, it's businesses do not see that elderly people are an opportunity. Speaking clearly from a profitable point of view, but of course also from societal and other points of view. So, my opinion is that your research will very much fit into a big movement of bigger awareness of society on the importance of understanding elderly people and their consumer behavior and all related issues that they are having. Thank you, Anya. I will now jump to Boris. Maybe we can remain with the elderly consumer. What are your comments on Anya's PhD topic, let's say? How do you see the consumption of food and related medical conditions with the elderly population?
Yeah, elderly population becomes, how to say, numerous. So that becomes a real problem, but not only from the eating point of view, from many other points of view. Let's say social, let's say social activities, combination, young and old people. Also how to adapt living condition for them. We in our faculty, we have a combination of kinesiology, physiotherapy, and dietetics. So we try to combine, our answer is key work with different scientists, because let's say one field, one specialist could not answer all issues which are opened.
Excellent. It was a nice discussion. So Boštjan is the last. To combine the topic of elderly consumers, you are quite a fresher in the company Panvita. Maybe to conclude with your comments on how is to be a young employee in a huge classical standard, but still very modern company. How do you feel right now as a fresher in company called Panvita?
Yes, this is definitely a good topic. Yeah, in our companies, quite a lot of the elder people that are working here, and I think new generation should take over more and more projects like we do. I'm not the only one. I'm not the youngest. I think we also have other younger people in our company. But definitely there is a huge need, and there will be in the future, especially because, as I mentioned, our pillars of development. In every of the pillar, there is a need for the young generation that could develop this into the right direction for the future. Yeah.
Excellent. So you are pointing to us towards the education institutions to produce or to educate very good candidates for all of you, basically. Yeah.
And also to the students to see that they have opportunities, maybe even more than in some other parts of the industry or so on.
Perfect. Very nice, a very nice bunch of ideas, very beautiful directions also to think, very nice. And thank you all, Karlis, Katarina, Boris, Anya, and of course Boštjan, and all from the Unimind team to enable us to participate in the event. Yeah, thank you very much, and good luck. Yeah, bye bye.
Thank you.